Whenever I have a conversation with someone online about their political views or their religious views or any kind of philosophical or whatnot conversation that you might have on a forum or on Facebook, I try to treat everyone that I'm speaking to as intelligent adults, even if their behavior doesn't warrant that kind of respect. That being said, what I usually do is take my opponent's written work and I copy and paste it onto a Word document, and I separate their ideas into paragraphs, depending on how they've written it. And I highlight and italicize and make notes on what they're saying before I even start writing. And when I respond, I am sure to separate all of my ideas into short paragraphs. And sometimes when there's multiple things that I'm addressing in somebody's argument, I'll give a title to each section so they can easily access that information for when they're responding to me. I do this because I know from experience how your brain will oversimplify and overlook information in your opponent's argument when you are in a debate like this, especially if you have high personal stake in your side of the argument. It's like your brain does this thing where it says it wants to be right so much that it just overlooks things on accident. So, what I do is try to organize my information in a way that prevents the other person from making that kind of mistake, even if I know that is an unconscious mistake. Especially because I know it's an unconscious mistake. I can remedy the natural way the brain works with that, that kind of... I can remedy the way that the brain responds to an argument somewhat by preparing my information in a way that is easy to read and easy to understand. Large amounts of information in a paragraph on a public forum, such as Facebook, makes your ideas look disheveled and tedious to read. I want to be understood clearly, and I want people to know what I think is the most important points in whatever post I post. So what I do is I reserve the first sentence of every paragraph or the first sentence of every section to be the thesis statement of that paragraph. And I try to summarize everything that I'm going to say in that paragraph in one easy sentence. And if I find something particularly important within my paragraph that I really want people to see, I highlight it or bold it or italicize it or capitalize it or something along those lines so people don't have to do extra work to find that information within my paragraph. The way that information is presented actually does have an effect on whether our brains unconsciously and subconsciously trust that information. And so I think it's really important the way that we present this information to other people. So for me, I think it's worth it even when people respond with 3 posts, 40 to 50 lines each, with no obvious thesis and about 5 fallacious and unclear points. Or if they're condescending or throw out ad hominem attacks, I'm content to write out my thoughts for other people to attack without offense. I think it's worth it. Of course, I love to write. I love to write out a well thought out thought and present it to other people, whether it's accepted or rejected. If I know that it's well thought out and if I know that I worked hard on it and that it's easy to read and that it is clear, then that's what's important to me. And hopefully somebody will be impacted by things that I say and things that I write on these forums. It might not be a lot of people, but someone's bound to be impacted by it. I know I was impacted by, arguments and debates that happened online. Anyway, let me know what one of your biggest social media / Facebook debate peeves are. And also let me know what you think works in an online debate. Be sure to critique my thoughts. I'm open to it. And until next time.